came to work, as we worked for a couple of days, I could see how some simple things for us would be more difficult for him. And I explained to him in helping him to know his condition, it would also bring a sense of tolerance and understanding towards his way of working. All the working boys always sweated him every day, out of frustration working with him, but at the end of the day, there was always the happy banter and the camaraderie that was there. He smoked all the time, yet he bought a packet of smokes once a month. And what that meant is he would go hunting the site for cigarettes, and he would disappear for, I'd say, half an hour, maybe twice a day outside of our breaks, looking for a cigarette. And so he became well known on every site we went to, and yeah, everyone at work had their personal jokes with him regarding his habits and his ways. Even though we'd been doing the same work process on the same job for 6 months, I could ask him to carry on and he would look at me as though it's his first day on the job. I said, okay, you have to remind me, but we have to work at things one step at a time, and just drill in these processes so that he can become comfortable with our systems for completing our work. I felt he always increased and improved in degrees. I understood that he could keep increasing and progressing. So prompting was reduced on a daily, so at the beginning of the day we would talk about what needed to happen, and I suppose I would delegate everyone to their areas of what had to happen. I made everything a process so that you could become familiar with things and grow in confidence. Yeah, we knew his strengths and could put him in areas where he felt comfortable so that he could work and take care of an area. We wouldn't have to worry about that, and it would be done. The other guys that I did work with, they still struggled at times to remember the processes, so I had a couple of years of patience working with them as well, and then transferring these techniques over to Michael.
What made you persevere with Michael when most employers would give up if he was, say, off looking for cigarettes on the site for sort of half an hour at a time? What made you keep going?
He had difficulties in life, so he was moving around, yet he would still get himself to work on time by public transport. So with that, I thought to myself, oh heck, I'll give this guy a pay raise, and he's really determined and committed, even with all of his obstacles. And I thought that was very worth tolerance and chances.
How much supervision did you need to give him?
Through the process of working, he built his confidence in certain areas. I would ask him if he wanted to do those things or if he wanted to stretch himself out a little bit more and try something new. Probably 80% of the time he'll just say, oh no, I'll just do this, which was fine, easy for him. As long as everything was marked out for him, he could follow along and do what was needed. Now and then he would say, oh, I'll try that, which was fine. I was like, yeah, good on you. Once again, I'd set things up for him so that he could follow through as well. And I felt you could see when he understood things. And so when I felt he understood, would watch him at the start and he could follow through on the process, I would let him go. As time progressed, the supervision, so to speak, was reduced as well. Michael was a good worker, but his problems weren't at work all the time. He came from not a stable living environment. There was a time when he wasn't paying his board, of which I knew he had the financial means to do so. So understanding his ways and limitations, I thought I could extend a little bit and help him to help himself. And that's what I tried to do, was help him to help himself. Yeah, I didn't do things for him. If I did step in, the agreement was that he was to make back of what he did on doable terms. It was never ever fixed terms that if there was a failure, penalties would come. It was flexible and doable. I don't think, like I said, I don't think they were difficult for him, not difficult for others. And so a little bit of time to help him sort through his difficulties, his problems, the things that could have overcome him, his financial obligations, his living arrangements. It wasn't difficult for me to help him.
Do you think then some of the key things for us working with other employers is that it's important about them understanding the context of the young person's life? A bit of their story?
I think it always helps.
Yeah.
Because then you can understand why they are the way they are. I do things in the hope of that he would get better, that'll make it easier for me. If young people would go in committed to, well, I think first thing committed, it would mean a lot to an employer. If they had the will and the endurance to increase themselves at work, an employer would smile upon that and he would be happy with having them there. As they get better, there's a sense of value that you take them regardless of other problems. It's still frustrating, but they're still of worth and value, so you keep them there. He made things better for me, easier for me, and so I would do things for him.